Shalom, family. Just checking in again for a little bit to bring forth another edition of Spiritual Food for Thought. As I always say, family, I pray that, that you're making it okay in spite of all this stuff that's going on. As the squeeze is on, the time of our deliverance is at hand. Because the Most High is bringing forth the judgment on this world. Before he brings that judgment of correction, he's got to set apart his people and those who believe. So the bottom line is what he's doing right now, family, is he's opening up the mysteries of the kingdom. And as the mysteries of the kingdom, the understanding that he's given us, it's exposed all the garbage and stuff that we've been taught. And so the bottom line is, one of the things I realized, family, the Most High ultimately speaks to us through his spirit. He ain't speaking to us through the words of man. And the words of man come out their mouth. It's written in books, either expressed in some way over the radio or television. But the bottom line is the Most High speaks to us from within. And this is the point I'm trying to make. This is why we must turn away from those who have had preeminence over our lives to believe their words instead of seeking the Most High for themselves. That's really, family, the only reason I make these videos, because I'm trying to encourage people. Seek the Most High for yourself. One of the greatest gifts, family, that he's given us is the ability to think with our own mind and have the power to, meditate, consider, and all of these things. That's the way, really, I believe that we're made in the image of the Most High. Because as he has that ability as our Heavenly Father, he chose that for us, so he's given us that ability. There's a scripture that says, "Come, let us reason together," say the Master. So the bottom line is, those that are his, he communicates with us through reasoning, by showing us things, being able to have us connect the dots on what we're dealing with and all these things. And that comes as a result in the gift of his spirit. This is why we must be born again. We must be filled with his spirit. As I've said in the past, if it's a chink in the armor, the powers of darkness will enter through that chink in the armor and take over your mind. That's the way he does. So the bottom line is, family, we need to be delivered from the powers of darkness and ignorance, the spirit of death that is the manifestation of this world that we exist in. But as I've said, this is the pre-creation process that we have to go through. That actually, what's the word I'm looking for? That our election be made sure. Okay, because it's only through the Spirit, family, that we love the Most High, that we can understand him, that we obey him, and worship him. And as I said, the highest form of worship and praise to the Most High is our obedience. But if we don't understand his ways, because we're not taught of his spirit, then what we're doing is living a lie. And we're trying to present our own works, to be our justification. And in this fallen nature, our works, our righteousness is filthy rags in his sight. So the bottom line is, because as the Creator, only he could make us righteous through his imputed righteousness. You know what I'm saying? And that's what being born of the Spirit is to receive the imputed righteousness of our Creator. So as our mind becomes one with him, then we're able to see ourselves through his mind, which in turn will ultimately correct us. Because as we understand, family, and that's what he said, in all you're getting, get understanding. So as we understand through his Ruach, then we're able to conform to what he desires. And as I said, family, all he ever wanted us to be is ourselves, but with the understanding of his mind. But Hasatan has deceived us and blocked us from even being able to understand or see this absolute truth of the kingdom, as he continues to keep us distracted with the cares of this life. See, this world is an artificial world. This is not the kingdom of the Most High. This is the kingdom of Hasatan, that the Most High chose to bring us through this kingdom to be sifted of all unrighteousness, as he proves the investment of his Ruach in those that he's chosen. And as he said, those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. So this is a process. Ain't none of us saved yet. We're in the process of being saved. It's through his spirit that he's able to communicate with us because of the work that Yeshua did as he opened up the door for us to walk in the same place that he walks in, to have the same relationship like he had with his Father, okay, through the power of the Holy Spirit that's given by the Most High power to those who he's chosen, okay? So we're coming to his kingdom, but we're not there yet. We have to go through this darkness first to be sifted of all unrighteousness, to be born of the Spirit. Okay, but anyway, with that said, family, I just want to say I'm not a teacher. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or what to believe. That's between you and the Most High power. Okay, all I'm trying to do is put some things out there that you might consider. And it calls into question our existence. Because it's in those moments when we question our existence, that's the drawing of the Ruach HaKodesh, for us to get understanding we need from the Father to answer those questions that we have. You know, where we have to start, family, ultimately, we got to start questioning ourselves. That's why I'm saying question your existence. Forget about the world around you and everybody else. You know, the bottom line is, because we all have to give account of our lives to the Most High. And we can't base it on what Pookie and Ray Ray told us or John and Sally or whoever. You know what I'm saying? We got to go by what the Father has shown us from within, because this is where he communicates with us from within. Yeshua said it plain as day. He said, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man open the door, I'll come in and sup with him, and he with me, and me and my Father will make our abode there, within." Because that knocking on the door is the knocking of the door of your mind. That you open that door. And one of the ways we open the door, family, we have to flush all this stuff we've been taught and learned by the world. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been fed lies ever since we was in a position that we started learning things in this world. We've been taught by the spirit of Hasatan, which is the spirit of this world, which is the spirit of selfishness and self-righteousness and deification of man, over the understanding that the Most High power is the creator of creators. Okay? So, with that said, family, what I want to talk about this time, death is unnatural. See, as we continue to be born of the Spirit, and we begin to understand what life is and what life is about, this understanding comes from the Spirit of the Most High Power as our Creator, okay? Like I said, we've been brainwashed ever since we came into this existence by Hasatan and the rulers of the darkness of this world to be in the slavery that we're in. See, the world has always taught us what and who to be, okay? By their teachings, by their treatment, and all these things that we've all experienced. The bottom line is we have to be delivered from this understanding that we've got from this world. Because those that belong to the Most High Power, we are realizing now, which we didn't realize before, is that all the Most High wanted us to be is ourselves, but with the understanding of his mind. So that says that he does love us. But he also understands that he has to clean us up. And the only way he's going to clean us up is through the baptism of his Spirit, that brings our mind in agreement with the things he shows us. So that's how we overcome death. That's how we overcome sin. All of these things. Now, the thing that we need to come to understand, family, which was hidden from us for a season, excuse me, was hidden from us for a season. Because all of this stuff had to come to be before the season where the Most High began to free us from the darkness of this world through the understanding of his Ruach. Okay? This was his purpose and plan, ultimately the process that he chose to create all things. See, we need to understand, family, this world that we exist in, right, this is not the kingdom of the Most High. He didn't create this world. The spirit of death created this world. And the spirit of death is Hasatan. He's the destroyer. Scripture says the thief cometh to steal, kill, and destroy. Yeshua said, but I've come that you might have life and have life more abundantly. Yeah, being born of the spirit to behold the things of the kingdom that cause us to realize that we don't belong in this world. This ain't our home. This was just a proving ground that the Most High chose to test out the investment of his Ruach that he placed in those who believe. Because those who believe is those who understand. Because the bottom line is the Father continues to open up the mysteries of the kingdom, family. There's a lot of questions that he can answer, and it's going to change our whole perception of everything. Because even what he showed up to this point is beginning to change our perception in our lives. Because we understand we don't belong in this world. And this is an unnatural existence that we live in. Because we're caught up in the spirit of death as we was born in the flesh, then guess what? We don't understand truly what life is. We'll call this life. But this is the pruning process of our existence. We was first born in the flesh. Now we have to be born of the spirit. So basically, the baptism of the Ruach HaKodesh, family, is the very thing that's going to heal us as we understand the truth and what the Most High Power desired from us, what Yeshua's purpose was, and why he even came. As I said, Yeshua came to redeem the Father's creation. It wasn't just about us, man. See, that's the whole problem. Man is so full of pride, he always thinks everything is about him. You know what I'm saying? But the Father loved all his creation. Okay? And what he getting ready to teach us and show us that as we understand the reality that the only one he wanted us to rule is ourselves through the understanding of the Spirit. So that we can check ourselves and keep ourselves from getting out of line. And that's trying to rule over something that we didn't create. The Most High Power is the only one that has the right and the authority and the sovereignty and everything else that qualifies him as the creator. Only the creator controls and has the right to control. And he simply controls by giving us the understanding that we have. See, if we ain't born of spirit, we got the mind of Hasatan. The people talking about Hasatan wants what he wants to do. And they'll go back to Isaiah chapter 14 and talk about this is what he want to do. Family, this is what he's doing. Hasatan was created to do just what he's doing. So the Father could ultimately process his creation. As we got in a spirit of self-worship, and that's what pride is. So the bottom line is, family, we have to be delivered from the spirit of pride, and only the Ruach HaKodesh can do that. He said he resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So favor to those that are meek and lowly in spirit. That's who the Most High can deal with, because it makes us like a babe or unlearned. And we're coming to our Father to understand what we need to understand. The very questions that he brings to our mind. Okay, so other than that, if we ain't born of the Spirit or in the process of being born again, guess what? We are in a spirit of self-hatred and self-deification. See, because one of the things about deifying self is that we try to put a foot forth so somebody look at us. And as I said, the thing is, as we walk in that spirit of self-hatred, we understand that we have a need because we want to be righteous, okay? But it's our own righteousness, okay? Because until the Father shows you the truth, at best, you're going to be self-righteous. So you're going to take the things that you put value on and say that those things are good. Those are the things that you desire. But any kind of thing that's going to break you down or bring you down to the reality that you ain't in control of nothing, you don't want nothing to do with that. But the reality is, until we understand that, we really don't control anything. And most of all, ourselves. That's why we continue to try to go and cover up our nakedness with the things of this world, whether it be positions and power and stuff and different things like that, to continue to lift up our self-awareness that's separated from the Most High power. We have to be broken from that spirit and that understanding, because see, that's the nature of Hasatan. Hasatan know he ain't the Most High. He said, I want to be like the Most High. He said, I shall be like the Most High. So he knows he's a created being. He could never be the Most High. But the bottom line is, he could serve the Most High's purpose. And that's exactly what he's doing. And that's what he's done. And when the Most High is done with this process of our Creator, Hasatan and those that belong to him and everything that had to do with his wickedness and his evil and his self-awareness is going to the least side of the kingdom. And that's the lake of fire. So the bottom line is, family, we need to understand that we live in the realm of death, because death is anywhere that's separated from the presence of the Most High power, period. And once again, I just like to elaborate that it's not outside his vision and his knowing and all of these things. But the bottom line is that the created being, the creature, or spirit even, the bottom line is they lose consciousness of the Most High's presence. And this is when the works of darkness go forth. Because works of darkness can't manifest. They cannot exist in the presence of the Most High power. They can't even happen. They can't express themselves. So their consciousness loses understanding that you're in the presence of, that we in the presence of our Creator. So then in that realm, we are our own Elohim. And all that matters to us is what makes us feel good. What makes us feel alive. Because that's when we feel good. See, this is a trap of Hasatan. And it shows when his purpose was, he deceived the whole world. All of us have been had, family. All of us, every last one of them. Us. And we still being had. This is why we need the Ruach to show us the absolute truths of the kingdom, so we're not had. So the bottom line is, we got to understand death is anywhere that's separated from the presence of the Most High power. So that's why we got death. That's why this realm that we exist in is the realm of death. Because there's no life here. This life, excuse me, family. This existence here where we are in the flesh, family, it's like a simulation, if you will. This is not real. This is not real. This is just a platform for us to be brought into, that the Father can test the Ruach in those who he's chose to be his people and his children. Okay? Everything in this world has been affected in a negative energy, satanic energy, because of the way we think and the way that we live. See, the animals are out of order. The fish in the sea is out of order. The birds in the air is out of order. The insects is out of order. All the creatures that the Most High put the breath of life in is affected by our dominion over this earth. See, we got to understand, we was given dominion over this earth just for this stuff to happen right here. Okay? So the Father, in his own way, in his own timing and all the things, could reveal the truth of who we are and what he desires. Reveal to us about what the oneness of his love means and what it is. Okay? All of these things. And it's a mutual respect and understanding of all of the creation that he put the breath of life in, including the very earth that he brought us all forth from. We can't receive these things unless it's from his spirit. Okay? So as long as we stay caught up in our flesh, we just live in a lie. We being part of the deception and the darkness that enshrouds this world, and basically become a part of the powers of darkness that is being used to purge us from all unrighteousness. So the bottom line is pride. Like I said, pride. The Most High hates pride. This is why he hates pride. Because he can't even communicate communicate with a being that's caught up in pride. So that being is his own God. So guess what? He get to be his own God, headed for destruction. Because one thing I believe all other creation realizes this. Because in spite of the fact that we've messed stuff up, we still can see the beauty of the Most High in his creation here. But we understand that this ain't the final creation. Okay? Because after he gets done with this process of allowing good and evil to play itself out to bring forth what he desires, you know what I'm saying? That's what he wants. And that's what he's going to have. So, with that said, family, pretty much, there's not much more to say about that, but death is death. We think of death in terms of in the physical death. But family, if we're not spiritually alive, we're dead. It's nothing but a soul. See, what's happening to us in this fallen state, this is why we must receive the Spirit of the Most High. Because in this fallen nature, we are subject to our lower nature, and it's all about gratifying our senses. Okay? We are subject to corruption. The nature of corruption, because it's the fallen nature of the spirit of Hasatan. Okay? We have to be delivered from that. And the only one that could deliver us from that is our Creator. But as we continue to live in a way that we actually deny his existence, as we continue to seek after our own ways and do our own things and bring pleasure to ourselves and accomplish this, that, and the other, okay, without having no idea of where you stand with the Most High Power and how he sees you. So basically, ultimately, the wicked are going to have what they desired in this life. They're going to have it on the other side, but it's going to be a price to pay. They're going to be their own Elohim, dealing with all of that stuff. But yet, the biggest thing that they don't understand is that they're going to be separated from the Most High's love. The presence of his love. That's the worst thing ever. And I keep throwing that out there, man. We got to understand, that's what Yeshua did not want to go through. Because he never knew separation from the Father. But as he had to conquer death, he had to experience it for that time in order to conquer death. As the Father rose him up, he conquered death. So he conquered death not only physically, but more so important, the spiritual death that we was walking in as we continue to be subject to the will of the flesh. So to be birthed in the spirit of the Most High Power, we come to see what real life is, what it is, what the Father intends to bring forth. As I said, we ain't never been born of the Spirit until after Yeshua came. Now, before Yeshua came, yes, he imparted his righteousness to some of our forefathers, okay? But really, to be born of the Spirit takes things to the next level. So the bottom line is, being born of the Spirit is his imputed righteousness now. You know what I'm saying? So we had to go through this process because, as I've said before, see, Adam and Chua fell because they were not born of the Spirit. They was only born in the flesh. You know, like I said, the only spirit they really had was the spirit of their senses. That's what the flesh is. That's why they disobeyed the Most High. The Most High said it would happen. He didn't say the day that you eat of that, if you eat of that tree, you shall surely die. He said, when you do eat of that tree. That means he was prophesying that it was going to happen. Because they were not born of the Spirit. But this realm that we exist in is the process that he chose to birth us in the Spirit. As we had to deal with good and evil and all of this stuff that we deal with in this life. But the intention for his children that he invested his Spirit in, we going to endure all things and overcome this world and inherit the kingdom of the Most High Power. So the thing is, family, we got to Yeshua said it. He said, those who endure to the end, the same will be saved. So we not saved yet, and we're in the process of being saved. Okay, so we got to be free from all the lies that we receive from that spirit of religion, which is man's self-righteousness, which actually continues to feed the beast nature in us. Okay? That spirit got to be cut off. And when we born in the spirit, that's the first thing to go. That spirit of self-righteousness to make us think that the Most High going to accept us based on our works and what we do. No, it ain't happening. It's his imputed righteousness because he chose to love those that are his and has in place within everyone that he's chosen. He's in place his spirit in them that's going to assure the reality that they will inherit the kingdom because they will overcome this world. So, I guess, family, really, with that said, I really can't think of much else to say, but we got to get out of the mindset how we see death. Yes, it's physical, but that's nothing to the Most High. He could raise up a physical body like that ain't nothing. And even though I can speak for myself then, I'll say that. I've never seen it, but I believe it with my whole heart. Because I know if the Father wants to do that, what is he limited to, family? What is he? We talking about the Creator. The one that said, let there be light, and there was light. This started everything that exists in the heavenlies and on this earth. If he's the Creator, then, family, what can he do? We can't hold him to our understanding. You know, like many people do. If there's a God, why is this world so wicked? And how come innocent children getting killed? And all this wicked stuff. If he was really a God of love, he wouldn't let this happen. See, that's man in his ignorance. He don't understand. Everything the Most High does is with purpose. We do stuff just because. And it's usually because it make us feel good. That's what we want to do. We are created beings, family. That's why we walking in the darkness that we in, because we ain't desired to know the will of our Creator. All praise to him, know that in the time and season that it comes, he begins to speak to those who he's chosen. And we begin to seek after him with our whole heart and spirit. And as we continue to seek him out, he shows us the absolute truth that we need to understand. And that's what causes us to repent and line up with what he desires. So our desires become his desires. Or, yes, whatever his desires was, we come into agreement with that. So we become one. And as I said, that's what Yeshua was talking about. He said, me and my Father one. Yeah, in agreement. He wasn't claiming to be the same being, family. So when we get birthed in the Spirit, we come in agreement with the perfect will of the Father. So he can express himself through us according to who he made us to be and what he meant for us to accomplish. Each of us, not all the same thing, but different according to the way he created us to be to serve him. So, as I said, we got to be delivered, first of all, from the second death, which is being born in the flesh and dying in your flesh. Because that's going to be the second death. The second death is going to be in a place where the presence of the Most High's love will not be there. That's the worst thing about this eternal damnation. And so the bottom line is, as I say, family, you know, all I'm trying to say is, once again, seek the Most High for yourself. Ask yourself these questions. That's all I'm throwing out there is questions for you to consider. For your own soul's sake. We got to stop being so distracted by all the garbage and stuff that they teaching us to distract us from what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Hasatan, that's what he does. He distracts us with foolishness, and that's how we get deceived. So, unless we're born of the spirit family of his Ruach, we're going to continue to be deceived and on our journey to the second death. That's just the way it is. So, family, with that said, I hope I said something just to get you consider. And I pray that the Most High Power keep you and watch out over you as you continue to seek him out for yourself. So with that said, family, till next time, one love and shalom.